All right. Well, good morning, guys. It is Friday today. March break madness is almost over. And no, I don't mean basketball. I just mean March break madness. Kids and fun. You gotta love it. I love March break more than anything. It's almost like a break before the summer. So, just sporting our new sweaters and tees. Check it out. Nice new logo in there. If you guys want to check it out, t-shirts are 25, sweaters or hoodies are 45. You can DM or let us know if you want to get your order in there. So it's a nice new stuff we got as we go to the end of the cold winter. Anyway, so I'm going to talk today a little bit about, last week I spoke about what the hell is gut health and leaky gut and all this stuff, and I'm trying to really break it down so people can understand exactly what's going on. Can you see on there? Okay, perfect. So today I'm going to talk about 4 steps to gut health. Now we know why it's damaged, what exactly is happening. Now we're going to talk about what are some things that we can do, just without having to. Just if you're out there and you're thinking, geez, I don't know, I can't see anybody, I can't get in to see someone, I don't have a practitioner in my area, whatever, what are some things that you can start looking at to do for yourself? So, first a couple things, I always like people to remember, why the hell do I care about the gut? Some people go, I'm ripped, who cares? I don't need that stuff. Or, I don't feel like I need this, I don't think this is important for me. Well, there's a couple things. Obviously these are all the things that, having trouble with the gut can have. And these are a lot of the regular things that we feel as people, right? Skin issues, so psoriasis, eczema, anything along those lines, dermatitis, those are obviously issues from gut health. Colon, so people who are constipated regularly, they're always fighting that constipation battle. People who always have loose stools, diarrhea, irritable bowel, all these things, it's just who I am. No, it isn't. This is also part of it. That's another sign that your gut's damaged a little bit. Thyroid issues. This was a good one when I actually was reading a little bit. I didn't know. So you're looking at your Graves' disease, your hypothyroidism. So a lot of people are suffering from a lot of thyroid issues, especially women out there. So thyroid issues, you should really be looking at the gut to help fix that. Okay? You're looking at adrenals. People, I'm always tired. If I don't have my coffee, I shoot people. I see that on Instagram so much. If I don't have my coffee, I'm killing people. So that's another thing. So adrenal health, joints, or rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia. All those things that we call normal or unexplained. These are all signs of immune issues or immune attack, right? So brain, we're looking at anxiety, depression, huge things we're feeling there. ADHD, even look at autism sometimes. With the leaky gut, a lot of the issues when it leaks into the bloodstream and goes over, it's almost like an opium push for the kids. So you see this all of a sudden wave of change in their mood, and that's a lot of what we're getting when they have these issues. So autism also there, right? Sinus and mouth. This is one that a lot of people don't really realize, don't think about. They're always congested, they're always getting puffers, they're always getting steroid puffers. You know what I mean? Congestion, nasal congestion. I know I have that issue, so I'm always battling it. That tells me how my immune system's doing. Also food sensitivity. So big one here. That's a big one. A lot of people go, nah, that's not me. Actually it is. Okay, so what are some simple 4 steps that you guys can do to help remedy things? So the first one is you got to remove the issues. And this is, you got to be ready for this. You got to be, okay, what are some of my basic issues that I'm going to be looking at? Issues being, you got to watch your sugar. And remember, this is not forever. This is just something you need to do to heal and seal. So you're looking at your sugars, you're looking at your wheat, dairy, corn, and soy, especially your genetically modified stuff, your processed stuff. Those are all the things that are going to start damaging. But also looking at your NSAIDs, your anti-inflammatories, your pain medication, your headache medication. All that stuff is a result of gut issues. So we're taking stuff to fix it, and it's breaking it while we're fixing it. So remove the issues first. That's the first thing you want to try and stay away from, as well as things like processed meats are the worst things to put in there. Okay, next thing, once we do that, we got to add good foods back in. So what are some foods you can be doing? Bone broth obviously is a great one to do. Bone broth protein they have now. You can actually order. You can make your own bone broth. If you want to know how, you can DM me. I can give you some recipes. But even if you Google it, there's a million bone broth recipes you could do. But bone broth protein is really good for a lot of our clients. Not farmed fish. Grass-fed is very important as grass-fed if you're going to do it, or hormone-free. Any meats in there, that's okay. Fermented foods, because you want to actually add foods back in that help with the gut, right? So your kimchi, your sauerkraut, not the processed kind, but actually the raw organic one. So fermented foods, stay away from really having a whole foods kind of, people call it paleo, people call all these things. I'm just saying don't eat processed stuff. You can stay away from as much of the processed foods. That's a great way to help with adding food back in that don't inflame anything. Number 3, then we got to clean, seal, and heal. That's the next thing you should really be looking at, and that's important. So what are some things we use to do that? You could do your oil oregano. Just got to be careful with it because you can't do it for a long time. Candice is one of the products we use. It has different worm root and different things like that in there. But you also want to look at what are some other simple things that I can put. I can put glutamine in. Really helps seal the gut lining back. I can also do licorice root. Licorice root is huge for people who have gut issues, who are more stress related. So these are people that, I got food sensitivities, but more of my damage to my gut is because of emotional stress. Licorice root is great for helping the gut mucosa with that kind of issue. Okay, and also quercetin. Quercetin is one that doesn't get a lot of talk, but it really helps for not even just bringing down inflammation and a lot of the sinus mouth issues, but also helps rebuild the mucosa there in the stomach and in the small intestine, which is important as well. So quercetin is a great one. I use that one quite a bit, actually. My mom told me about that forever, and I never used it, and now I do. That's something you should do. So clean, heal, and seal. Those are some great ways. That's what you kind of do next. Okay, and then lastly, you got to add in the right things. So what do you got to add in? We got to add in probiotics. At least 30 million. You at least want 30 million. Units or whatever. Probiotics, what you want to look at, and a good strain. It can't just be acidophilus. You got to add in fiber, because fiber is what these guys need to eat. So if you don't have fiber in there, you're gonna have an issue. So, but someone's like, I can't handle strong fibers. I can't handle sprouted grains. Sprouted grains are great. If you can sprout anything and eat it, it's a great source of fiber for you. But if your stomach is really damaged, your gut's really damaged, you may not be able to handle it. So you could just be steaming your veggies. You could just be eating, steamed or sautéed likely veggies. Lots of them though, like more than what you think. Triple what you normally do, or triple the size of your protein. And that'll actually, a good way to start getting fiber, and as you feel better, you can switch back to sprouting. Sprouting, people go, how do I sprout? It's so easy. You can get sprouting kits. They're so cheap. You can Google, buy sprouting kit, and it'll pop up. It also increases the amino acid content, so it helps with growth, adhesion, activity. So great thing you can do there is doing some sprouting there as well. So it's pretty, I know it seems easy, but it doesn't seem, I'm making it seem easy, but that's really the steps that you got to go through. You got to remove, you got to add in good things. Then you got to seal and heal. This is the longest part, I find. That's the part where clients start to get a little bit irritable, like, oh, come on, it's been like 9 months. So you're looking at 2 to 3 months, if everything's good, depends on the damage, and then adding and replenishing the troops. After you've kicked everyone out and killed everything off that's in there, you may not have candida, you may just have gut damage, you got to put stuff back in. So a lot of people do this step. I did my cleanse, I killed things, but they didn't seal it, or they didn't add the troops back in so that everything's working. So make sure at the end you're putting in your probiotics, your prebiotics, fiber, so that everything can start working again the way it should be. So I hope this was helpful, guys. If you have any more questions of more detailed, I didn't want to get too sciencey, so I tried to keep it basic today on how to heal and seal the gut. And remember, these are your rewards. These are all the things that we can fix there. So I guarantee everybody's got one of these in their pantry that they suffer from. And if you do, it's something to look at for you. So if you have more questions, DM me to talk about more how to do these things. Share this with someone that has one of these things that we spoke about here, which is probably everybody. Have a great Friday. Hope your March break's awesome. To all the basketball watchers, hope you're enjoying your March break madness. And have a great Friday, guys. I'll see you back on Monday. Next week, Friday, I'll have a special guest on here, and I'll talk about it next week, and say I have a special guest coming in and an interview next Friday. So take care, guys. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you soon.